Autism service dogs are in high demand, both in Ontario and across the country, where wait lists are up to 6 years. But many organizations are facing hurdles when it comes to properly training the dogs, since in most Canadian provinces and territories, service dogs are not required to receive formal training or certification and are often not allowed in public spaces. Deanna Elaine is a volunteer with Autism Dog Services, and she joins me in studio this morning with her service dog in training, Carlin. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for bringing Carlin as well. Now, he's the second dog that you've trained. Talk to me about what goes into training and what are some of the hurdles that you encounter because he's not allowed in public spaces?
So I'm a puppy raiser, so I'm a full-time volunteer with an organization called Autism Dog Services. And what that means is I get a puppy when they're a few months old, I take them everywhere with me and I give them basic training. And then usually when they're about a year to 2.5 years old, they're recalled and they're taken basically to an advanced training facility, or they work with an advanced trainer, and then they're placed to support a child with autism.
Okay, so you've been working with them for a while. Talk to me about some of the hurdles, some of the barriers that you've encountered. Where are the frustrations for you in this system? Where can't you take him, and why do you need to take him to those places in the first place?
So in Ontario, service dogs in training have no right to public access because under the AODA, I'm a trainer and I don't have a disability, and so I'm not covered by the AODA. And so service dogs in training, it means that anyone can basically kick us out in public places. So there's a big risk factor.
Wait, so let me see if I got this straight. The dogs are allowed in public places when they are with someone with a disability, but the person responsible for training them to ensure that they provide value for that person with a disability isn't allowed bringing them in public because they don't have a disability themselves.
Exactly.
Well, that's a flaw in the system.
Yes.
Now, you're an advocate as well, doing advocacy for the province of Ontario. If they were to come to you right now and say, help us draft some legislation that makes this system exactly what you need it to be, what are some of the changes that you would need to see?
Yeah, so we've actually been going to them. We've been lobbying. We lobbied the previous government, and we're going back to lobby them when they're back in session. What we're hoping to see is a full consultation process to create new legislation that improves the status for service dogs, to liken them to guide dogs, to ensure service dogs in training have the right to public access, and to make sure that service dogs can service children with autism in schools.
So across the country, it's the best practices is the exception, not the rule. We've got British Columbia and Nova Scotia are the only places where these service dogs in training are allowed in public. Are they doing everything right there? Should Ontario be looking to those models?
They're definitely a step in the right direction, but oftentimes when we see new legislation go forward, as an example, there are ways and there's a lot of room to grow there, which is why it's important that we do that full consultation process, because Ontario is not British Columbia and it's not Nova Scotia, and so we can create a fully unique piece that really services everyone here.
Have you been kicked out of any public spaces with a dog in training?
Because I'm a strong advocate for service dog accessibility, I usually push back a bit and I make sure that people understand the laws, that they can't deny service dogs. And so I've been harassed in different situations before, but in general, the service providers will kind of turn around and make sure that I still have that public access.
How are people like you, able to properly train these dogs who serve a vital role for people who need them? How are you properly able to train them if you can't take them in the places that they would need to be able to routinely go?
So oftentimes what we do is we rely on service providers that do support service dogs in training. Facilities like Metrolinx, they really champion service dog accessibility, including service dogs in training. So when I came here today on the GO train, I knew that Carlin would be able to go on and we'll have no problem getting back home.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing this story. I wish you the best of luck in trying to push this change through, and good luck to you, Carlin. I know you got a big job ahead of you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks so much.